Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Daniel. I'm actually glad you came by to see me because I have a little story to tell y'all about this. This is called Le Parfait pour Homme Eau de Toilette by Armaf. Um, I've had quite a strange relationship with this fragrance that I wanted to talk about. But I want to mention somebody real quick first. We have a new fragrance reviewer in the community that I wanted to mention. He just started his brand new fragrance YouTube channel, and he actually posted his very first fragrance review yesterday. And I actually watched it, and I was actually quite impressed. Um, Especially for his first review, it was freaking amazing. He actually did a review on Allure Homme Sport by Chanel. I'm going to put a link in the description on to his channel so you can check him out. He's awesome. Go by and show him some love and subscribe to him. Um, I think he's going to do very, very well in his fragrance reviewing journey. I really do. I just have a really good feeling about him, and he's a really nice guy too. His name is Luke Treat. So go by, follow the link that I'll put in the description, and go by and show him some love. Let me tell you about my little relationship that I've been having with this fragrance the last year. Let me uh, Let me give you the notes real quick first. Top notes is bergamot, blackcurrant, pineapple, lemon. Heart notes, jasmine, spices, rose. I like these notes. I like these combination of notes, by the way. Base notes is patchouli, musk, vanilla, and ambergris. Let me show you the bottle real quick. When I first got this a year ago, I thought this was really weird. I didn't get it. I like it a lot better now. I don't know if I love it or not, but it's actually, I like different, I like unique, and that's exactly what this is. One of the things I really like about it is the magnetic cap, which actually is a really, really strong magnetic cap. This is actually really cool. I like that. And it's a great atomizer on here too. The finish is actually really cool. It's like two different finishes. It's like almost like a satin and then sort of like a leather almost, but it's really cool. Um, let me tell you about. Let me tell you my relationship that I've had with this fragrance. About a year ago, in the fragrance community, there was a bunch of hype about this fragrance. All the fragrance reviewers were talking about this fragrance, giving it two thumbs up, talking about what a great fragrance it is. I remember one reviewer that said that he thought that this fragrance was the best Armaf has ever done, and I was like, wow! All the fragrance reviewers were talking really good stuff about this. Everybody in the fragrance community, all the Facebook groups, everybody was talking about this fragrance, how great it was. I didn't hear one negative thing about this fragrance at all. I was like, well, there's probably something to this fragrance then, because everybody's saying what a great fragrance it is. So I was like, it's got to be good, so I'm going to order it. So about a year ago, something like that, I ordered it. And I read the notes. I heard everything that everybody said about this fragrance. So I sort of knew what this fragrance was going to smell like before I got it, or before I started wearing it. I remember I got it. I was like, cool bottle, cool atomizer, cool cap. Let's see what this sucker smells like. Nope. No. No, no, no. I do not know. I do not know why I was getting what I did. I did not get what anybody else got. I'll tell you exactly what I got. The whole life of the fragrance, from the very opening to the end of the dry down, I'll tell you what I got. And I don't know why this happened. I got a violet, floral violet, and it was extremely sweet. It was like a sickening sweet violet, almost the entire life of the fragrance. And I was mad. I was like, God, this is so sweet and so floral. It's like, I don't even want to wear it. I was like, I think I even washed it off my arm a couple of times. I was like, this is like nasty almost. It's not a bad smell. It didn't stink, but it was just overly sweet, floral. And I was mad. I was so upset. I was like, how could everybody say that they're getting like green Irish tweed and this, and they're getting this, and it's so great? I had a grudge from the very first wearing. I had a grudge on this fragrance. And it kept me, I think it got in my head from then on. I was like, okay, every time I go and wear this, I'm going to get a sickening sweet violet. And I think it was like a psychological thing, I guess, subconscious or something. I was preparing for a review the last couple of days on this fragrance. And I actually reviewed this fragrance yesterday. 15 minutes. I talked crap about this fragrance and how upset I was about this fragrance. And I downloaded it or uploaded it to my YouTube channel. But I did make it public. I kept it private. I was like, I don't feel right about this for some reason. So I thought about it for a while. I kept it private on my YouTube channel. I didn't let anybody see it and thought about it. I was like, you know something? I hate this fragrance. I have a grudge on this fragrance. I do. It was like something in my head that made me not like this fragrance. I don't know how many people... Let me know if you've ever had a grudge on a fragrance, especially if you're a YouTube reviewer. Have you ever had a grudge on a fragrance? But I realized I had a grudge on this fragrance. And I talked crap about this fragrance on my review yesterday. And I realized that. I was like, I decided to delete that review yesterday and go about this completely different way. I was like, I need to get that grudge out of my head. I need to have all these negative thoughts out of my head. I want to start this review just like I've never wore this before. A fresh review with an open mind. And that's exactly what I did. I went upstairs, took a shower. I got relaxed. I laid in bed. I was like, let's do this all over again. I closed my eyes, put this on, laid in bed, and took this fragrance in and just experienced it. And you know something? That's it. I had a grudge on this fragrance. That's all I was getting for a year was a sickening sweet violet. But last night, with an open mind and a new look on this fragrance, I actually enjoyed it. I really did. Let me tell you what this fragrance, one of the things that was hyped about this fragrance is this is actually supposed to be a combination of two different fragrances. This is actually supposed to be a combination of two very, very famous fragrances. It's supposed to be a combination of Aventus by Creed and Green Irish Tweed by Creed. So it's supposed to be a combination of two very, very famous, great fragrances. And actually Armaf, the same company that made this, they actually have two clones of those Creed fragrances. Très Nuit is supposed to be a clone. This is supposed to be like GIT, Green Irish Tweed. And this is a clone of Aventus. So actually what this fragrance is a combination of these two. That's what that fragrance is. Let me tell you what I got. Let me tell you what I got last night with an open mind. I still got a really sweet floral, which I don't particularly care for. And I got something else in the opening. I got two things in the opening that I've never gotten before, and it's because I didn't let myself get it. Even though it's not listed in the notes, lemon is listed in the notes, but I got a lemon verbena. That's what I got. And I got a little bit of a fruity accord. A lot of people say they got pineapple, but I do not get any pineapple from this. I got fruity accord. So it's the opening, the first half of the life of this fragrance is a sweet floral, lemon verbena, a little bit of spices, and a little bit of a fruity accord. And it was actually quite nice, except it was still a little bit too sweet for me. But not sickening sweet, not like a sweet that I wanted to wash off because it was so sweet. But it was actually quite pleasant. It really was. I actually enjoyed it. The second half of this fragrance, that sweetness was a little bit less in the last couple hours of this fragrance. I got a little bit of vanilla. I got a little bit of woods. Even though woods is not listed in here, I got a little bit of like sandalwood, a little bit of musk, a little bit of vanilla. The second half was actually a lot nicer than the first half of this fragrance. I really enjoyed the dry down of this fragrance. One of the things I still don't like about this fragrance is there's hardly any Aventus in this fragrance. It's actually mainly, almost all of it is GIT. That's all this fragrance is. The only GIT I got was maybe a little bit of the fruity and lemon verbena in the opening. And I got, other than that, there was a Aventus vibe in the very last part of the dry down, like 30 minutes before this fragrance completely died. I got a really good Aventus for about 30 minutes, and then that was it. That's my big complaint right now about this fragrance is because it just really don't have an Aventus in it. It's actually basically all GIT, and I think that's a shame because that's one thing that I was hoping for when I first ordered this is to begin with is like half GIT and half Aventus. It was like, this is a clone of GIT, and this is actually basically this with just a smidgen of this. And I think they should have like redid this fragrance. I think it should be half and half. As a matter of fact, last night I was thinking of myself. I was like, well, you know something? I actually like this now. It's not a love from me, but I actually like it, and I actually do recommend this fragrance. The last 2 days, it was actually quite pleasant for me. But I'm going to do a little experiment, and I think either my next video or review or the one after that, I'm going to do an experiment in the next couple of days. I'm actually going to make my own version of this by blending and layering these two. I'm actually going to do half of this and half of this. I'm going to, maybe I'll do it tonight. 2 sprays of this right here, and then 2 sprays of this right here. So that'll be like half and half, and see what happens. As a matter of fact, these two I don't like by themselves because this is like really overly smoky and harsh and raw. That's the reason I don't like it. This is overly sweet and floral. So I think if I make my own version and make it half and half, they'll sort of balance each other out, and I want to see what happens. So that's going to be one of the reviews that I'm going to do soon. I feel better. Tell me if you've ever had a grudge on a fragrance before. I'm curious. I think I might be the only one, but let me know if somebody out there thinks that they've given a fragrance a bad review because of something negative that's happened in the past or something. Let me know. I'm just curious. I think I'm weird, but that's me. God made me that way, so it's all good. anyway, that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed this. And I'm really glad that I deleted that review that I did and did make it public, because the main things about my channel is that I want to be as accurate as I can about what I say about a fragrance, and I want to be as truthful as I can about what I say about a fragrance to y'all. Those are the two main things that's most important to me. Those two things and having fun are the main things about my channel. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll be back soon to let you know what happens with my experiment. But yeah, I do recommend this. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link in the description on where you can get this. I think everybody should check this out. Still a little bit too sweet for me, but I like it. I really do. All right. I love you guys, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.